We are live. What's going on? What's good? Main topic today will be J6 and it's not new. None of this is new, but people are talking about it, so it's relevant that Donald Trump said that he's going to go case by case in pardoning. And I think I'm grateful for anybody to go and look at these cases, but I'm going to have some pushback. You guys, if we're going to be a part of politics, and not just on the sideline. I know I'm just talking, so I'm not doing anything else other than that. But if we're gonna talk, we can't just be rah rah. I just can't do it. That's not gonna be me, and it's gonna be pushing. The politics is a dirty game. Libertarians found out about that real quick. Name the libertarian that Donald Trump nominated for his cabinet. I'll wait, or even outside his cabinet. I'll wait. He went to the Libertarian National Convention, and remember, my take was, and I'm just going to go over some of the hot topics, and we'll get into J6. Remember, my take was the quid pro quo's over. I did the live where I started out kind of heated. I was like, it's over. The quid pro quo is over. You didn't take it. You booed him. And a lot of the libertarians I respected said, no, that's not what happened. We don't support Chase Oliver. We're backing Trump. He's going to do the quid pro quo. And he's already failed on the first part. We'll see what happens with Ross Ulbricht. If he doesn't commute Ross Ulbricht's sentence on day one, then it's over. And right now, there should be grumblings about libertarians saying, bruh, we never called you a libertarian. We all knew you weren't a libertarian, but we backed you. Where's our deal? It should be a lot louder. So I don't know if I'll get into that, but that's another hot topic in the news today. And that's a really, really hot topic for me. I might get heated on that one. From the standpoint of the libertarians not criticizing Donald Trump enough. So they need to come really hard with this is politics, man. And Donald Trump's going to be tugged in all different directions. If you don't make any noise, like serious noise, it's over. And if he's not going to do the simple thing that he said he was going to do, he couldn't even bring in a prominent libertarian to be a fake position under Elon Musk and Vivek or whatever. We know Vivek's not. And I don't know. I haven't heard this. Angela McCardle, if you don't know, Angela McCardle is the LP chair, done nothing but support her. Somebody's telling me, and I have not seen it, but people are telling me that she said RFK Jr. is a paying dues member of the Libertarian Party, so he counts. I hope that's not true. I can't confirm or deny it. I definitely hope that's not true, because that's not a libertarian in the cabinet. That's not a libertarian. I forgot his exact quote was something like, I'm gonna nominate a libertarian for, he said cabinet, and then he said like his position, just the outside of advisory kind of thing. And that's not Vivek. So let's figure that out real quick. There's not enough pushback. I'm not seeing enough pushback. Trump nominated this person who was just absolute trash. Janet, I've never tried to pronounce her last name. I've only seen it. Never heard of her in my life until I probably saw her, just never knew who she was. She was on Fox News all the time during the pandemic, so I'm sure I saw her, just never knew who she was. But Janet Neswaite, somebody correct that for me if you can. I don't know how you're going to correct me, bro. I just can't pronounce names. So this person here was nominated for Surgeon General. Wait until you hear. I'm sure many of you watching already know, but let's relive. It might be painful, but Donald Trump nominated somebody who was pro the Jabberwocky, and not just that, pro censorship of the Jabberwocky discussion. On Fox News. Fox News wasn't even by far the most big pharma influenced network. ABC, way more influenced. MSNBC, way more influenced. CBS was almost all, at least the top advertisers, pharma influenced. Google, of course. That's why they did the censorship, because you can understand if Big Pharma, let's say Ozempic sponsors my show, and Ozempic is out here unliving people. It's kind of awkward if I don't want those Ozempic checks to stop for me to cover the conversation. That's basically the story of the pandemic. Donald Trump has never acknowledged that. Never, what I just said. Never acknowledged that. Never acknowledged anything wrong. And you can see why I was out, and he nominates somebody who would really work kind of with RFKJ, which I don't even understand how this works. RFKJ wrote the defining document on the pandemic, in my opinion, the real Anthony Fauci. How could he have this person working for him? And she said she changed her mind or whatever. I have to look that up. I haven't seen that, but people are telling me that. Stu Peters has a new documentary coming out called Occupied. I'm really hyped to see that. I don't even know if will YouTube allow a trailer for that on here? I don't know. You might need to go to middlemaga.com. I haven't updated the website in a while, but it's up. So I just got to find a way to automate the updating because it's a lot of manual to get the link and do that. So I'm trying to automate a lot of stuff. I'm trying to do a lot of different things. I'm actually trying to expand another channel where I won't crash out on the JQ. I'm trying to do another. I'm completely undisciplined on this channel. I'm not doing any Jeremy of the Quartering self-censoring. Syed's like, I cannot show enough appreciation for our Syed. What this great friend of the show, chiming in, being dead serious. Syed's like, don't do it. Just let this one go, bruh. Cause she can see me like moving my mouse, looking for the link to Stu Peters' Occupied documentary, and Cyan's like, just hold on, bro. Just hold on. just don't do it. And Cyan, I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it. But Cyan says, nah, don't. Just let that one go. It's good enough just to talk about it. Cyan's like, we seen it. Don't do it. But I got 30 minutes crashing out on the JQ, and I'm still up right now, so knock on wood. That wasn't the FBI knock. That was knock on wood. Steve Johnson says, I need a music channel. Yeah, man. I do have one that's kind of like music, but I need to fully flesh that out. I think I actually called it Middle Mega Music, but the only like big music on there is Bryson Gray. I did a lot of breakdown from his album Me vs. the Industry, which is I think is an instant classic. But so I have another site called Middle Maga Music, and who knows when I'll pop off on it. But I've been mixing politics in with it, like instrumentals and stuff. But I do actually have a little digital DJ set up to do just music. But the only video is this Bryson Gray, Us vs. the Industry. I did a little mix there. So you got a little bit of music here.
Kenosha shooter, Kyle Rittenhouse, he murdered 2 people, by the way.
Rittenhouse is basically what you would have had any school shooter. Kyle Rittenhouse.
So it's 33 minutes of me just just playing the Bryson Gray Me vs. the Industry album. That's my favorite album of Bryson Gray. And then I had like some interludes in there. So I will do some stuff there, but only so much time. But yeah, I appreciate that. What's up, Steve? Cyan said, yes, RFK and the SG is a direct conflict of interest. So she's saying the Surgeon General. And I don't know how that works. That's why when I said this Maha thing, that doesn't sound very Maha. What does Maha mean? That's why I said I need you to explain to me what MAGA means in your work. I'm talking about Trump. Explain to me what MAGA means. Explain to me how RFKJ fits under MAGA. Now RFKJ is talking about Maha. Explain to me how Make America Healthy Again fits underneath MAGA. And then now you see why if you don't define these things, then Trump can just go hire a vaccine shill and put them in a position of power. Even if these people have changed their mind, these people should be ostracized for their position in the past. Even if J.D. Vance has changed his mind on Donald Trump, he should be ostracized for his position in the past. And that same would apply to me. Obviously, I'm not in politics, but I've changed my mind. I'm not looking for any type of position with anybody. There's plenty of people who had the right position at the right time that should be advanced. Instead, we're doing this, oh, I know your sister, I work with your sister, or I know this, your other sister was a Miss America pageant and married the singer from Creed, and we're getting into like other stuff. That's why when you don't define MAGA, the tent just keeps getting wider, and to the point where I don't know what the tent is. It's just everything. The tent right now is everything except for the culture, like the other side of the culture war. So basically, it accepts everybody in the tent as long as you are on the right side of the basic, the very basic gender, all that kind of stuff, culture war. And as long as you're Zionist or you're about the Zionist. Because the tent includes his new Surgeon General pick, but it doesn't include Nick Fuentes. Because why? There's only one topic. It's because of the JQ. The tent doesn't include me anymore because of the JQ. I'm starting to ask questions. I'm noticing and I'm asking questions. But the tent does include these whacked out Zios. It does include Marco Rubio. Your tent includes Marco Rubio, but it doesn't include Nick Fuentes. That is asinine. That makes no sense. And your movement has been corrupted, co-opted, and destroyed by Zionist Jews. Congratulations. That's what's happened to the MAGA movement. That's why you're supporting pro-vaccine clowns. You're supporting Nikki Haley in a suit, which is Marco Rubio. You're supporting the worst of the worst. You're supporting Dr. Oz now. I mean, it's just a mess. It's just an absolute mess. The best you had was Matt Gaetz. The best you have in the MAGA tent right now are former Democrats who have never shown me that they align with me enough for me to even like them anymore. And I liked Tulsi Gabbard at one point. So Tulsi Gabbard and RFKJ those are your best ones. That's your best version of MAGA right now. Who else? Now you got Tom Hallman, but I'm talking about just the cabinet picks. At least you do have him, but which I think he's overall good. I mean, he's not even perfect, but no one is. But when you look at the cabinet positions, none of them are exciting to me. So that's where MAGA is. And it's not too... Politics is always pushing. You always have to be on the offense. You always have to be pushing. You always have to be demanding. You always have to be making deals. You always have to be waiting for the quid pro quo. We made a deal. Did you vote for Donald Trump to support... I mean, he said it, so I don't blame you. Did you vote for Donald Trump to support the COVID regime? Yes or no? Now I'm talking about you individually listening. Is that what you voted for Donald Trump for? Yes or no? You need to answer that question. And if your question is no, then you should have problems. I'm seeing people say, well, are you black-pilled? Bitch, I'm an adult. I'm not black-pilled. Answer my question. Why did you vote for Trump? Are you getting that? If you are, then fine. Then great. I've got no beef with you. Do what you do. I didn't vote for Trump, and it doesn't matter. I didn't vote for Biden or none of them. You still push them. You still talk about their policies and where they are now and the future. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting right now. His transition has been much better than his first time. So this isn't to kind of diss the structure of the transition. Even with the Matt Gaetz stuff, it was risky. I like that. He was risky with it. What is really the downside of it? There's nobody who likes Trump that's going to change because Matt Gaetz had to resign or pull himself out. And there's no one on either side that's going to change their mind. So what's the real downside of the Matt Gaetz stuff? I don't have a problem with it. It's messed up. What's going on with Matt Gaetz? He's on Cameo now? What, man, that happened quickly? Matt Gaetz is on Cameo. He went from in the House to one of the more based congressmen, even though now I'm in a different place and I view him completely differently. I would never call him that now. But he has a lot of positions I agree with, kind of like Tucker. But Tucker is a better speaker, of course. But Matt Gaetz, prominent MAGA member of the House. And at the snap of a finger, he went to the nominee to be the Attorney General. And then now he's doing Cameo. And I mean, all of this happened in the span of, I don't know, 72 hours? This bro's on Cameo doing this Cameo app. I don't know what it is. Is this the app for celebrities where you can pay them money to talk to you? It's weird, man. This is where he is now? Bruh. So we'll see what's next. People are trying to throw out special counsel and stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know if he can get back to that level. Governor of Florida. Do you get back to the level of governor of Florida after this happens?
Hey, Lisa Kovac, it's your favorite former Congressman Matt Gaetz. I just wanted to thank you for being a longtime patriot, for supporting President Trump through thick and thin. And I know you were bummed out when the news broke that I wouldn't be the next Attorney General. We did get a great replacement in Pam Bondi. She's going to do an awesome job. You have nothing to worry about. But hey, listen, I'm still going to be in the fight for you and your family. And I know things are tough right now dealing with your car and Bruce, and I wish him a very speedy recovery.
He's just to my knowledge, he's just talking to some random person who paid him money on Cameo. That's why he's saying, and maybe that person told him this stuff, is my understanding.
So next time you visit Florida, as everyone should do very frequently, make sure to pay a visit with your lovely Aunt Kathy. Stop by and say hello. Also, say hello to your mother, Carol, for me.
Wait, what is this? I don't know what's happening. I honestly, let me just strike it from the record. Like, I know he's on Cameo. To my knowledge, this is from Cameo. I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to play it for you. You tell me. I have no idea what's happening. From congressman to, man, that was when we did the live where that was a fun live. Like, that was probably the last that was the end of the MAGA journey for me, as far as like the old school MAGA, where we did the live when we were kind of celebrating the vacating the chair. We went from vacating the chair under his leadership to then we got the same thing as Kevin McCarthy, just a different version of Kevin McCarthy. Just created a new Kevin McCarthy, which isn't Matt's fault, but nothing came from it. And then now to the AG, then dropping out, and then now I don't know what this is.
And have a Merry Christmas, have a great Thanksgiving, enjoy your family, and this is just such an exciting time to be an American. We've got the House, we've got the Senate, we've got Donald Trump in the presidency. We're going to actually fix the problems.
This is corny, bruh. This is just corny for me. It's not going to work for me, bruh. That's going to be a no for me, dog. You're better than this, Matt. For everyone telling me all this great stuff about Matt Gaetz, does he not have a corny take? He's not in the House anymore. What's the risk? Is he waiting? Is he still going to try to run for governor? This is cornball. There's no substance here. It's like, oh yeah, we got the House. We got what? You really think we have the Senate?
Just such an exciting time to be an American. We've got the House, we've got the Senate.
We've got the Senate? Where do you get that from? Most of these Republican are anti-Trump, anti-MAGA, as soft as MAGA is now. You don't have the Senate. You don't have the Senate. You have Murkowski and who else? All these other ones banding together, obviously, to go against Trump. I don't support that. But why? What is this? And Matt is well above this. You've got the House. You've got the Senate. No, you don't.
We've got Donald Trump in the presidency. We're going to actually fix the problems. We're going to secure the border, clean up our streets, get the economy roaring again. So we've got a lot to be thankful for. Austin loves you very much for sending this video, and I wish you all the best through thick and thin, just like you've been there for me and for President Trump. And I can assure you, as we approach the holiday season, the best is yet to come.
This is dystopian, man. This is not real. That smile's not real. He's faking. This is bad. I don't know what the context is. It's just not good. So I wish him the best, man, but that's not going to work for me. I don't know what that is, man. He went, that's a fall from grace. That's for sure. I said, I don't know why he's not taking the AIPAC money. He doesn't call it a genocide, which is there's two litmus tests right now for somebody's political IQ. What is your take on Nick Fuentes? Are you going to be arrogant and ignorant and talk about something you don't know? Because I watch Nick, so I know. Doesn't matter what you think of Nick. That's not the point. The point is, if I ask you, well, what do you think about Nick Fuentes? Can you articulate your point either way, or are you able to say, I don't know, I don't watch the bro? And then on top of that is just simple. What do you think about Israel literally killing women and children on a daily basis? Is that a problem to you, or does it bother you at all? Is it okay? That's the only two things I need to hear right now. And you ask Matt Gaetz those questions, and he's like, I stand with Israel. How is that based? What else? I might agree with him on other things. I'm not saying I won't. I agree with Black Lives Matter people on certain things. I agreed with Taylor Lorenz just this morning. I read an article from Taylor Lorenz I thought was a pretty good. She's a very good writer. I've never denied that. It doesn't matter. What's your take on those topics? Let's take a look at AZ Patriots in the bill. What's going on? It's like he's leaving a voicemail. AZ Patriot. What's up? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. I'm hoping that Matt Gaetz can bring it around. It's not over. Maybe he is. I don't know. He needs to get revenue. But isn't it kind of what we have talked about over the years, that there's this blurring the lines between an influencer and a member of Congress, especially when Congress is stalemated. You're not passing any, unless it's for war, unless it's for funding war, funding Israel, or naming a post office, you're not passing any type of meaningful legislation. Not that I want them to repeal legislation, but you're not doing anything meaningful other than pandering and calling your donors. And you're not supposed to be in the House forever. The House is not something for you to be there 6 terms. And Matt, what is he on his 3rd term now? That's a long time, and the House is designed every 2 years to tire your ass out and get somebody who's hungry and in there, like Marjorie Taylor Greene. You should be out of there. Lauren Boebert, you should be in, make your impact, and you should be out, or go to the Senate, or it takes a lot more money, a lot harder. You saw what they did to Kerry Lake. It's hard to get to the Senate, but you can do your other things. And I can understand Matt Gaetz, because he built a large following. He's had a podcast. He's got 2 Twitter accounts with over 3 million people. I don't know if he's going to get to keep the former congressman one, but even if he only has the personal one, I believe he has 3 million followers on there. You can monetize that. You're bigger. You're bigger than the House. AOC. How much longer is AOC going to be in the House? I don't think she's going to be in the House much longer. She's going to have to go to Senate or just be an influencer. Why would you be in the House? For what? You've got all these followers. You have a bigger name than anybody in the House. You got a bigger name than most of the senators. The senators look at you like complete dirt. The senators look at members of the House like they are complete clowns. So why do you need that if you have a bigger name? Like, I'm not having Lisa Murkowski look down, whatever, I might be butchering her last name, looking down one who won through ranked choice voting, that looking down at me when I'm AOC, and nobody knows who you are. I'm bigger than you. So Matt Gaetz is like, I'm just an influencer now. I kind of understand that now. If I talk through it, what the hell do you need to be in the House for? Ain't nothing happening in the House. You're not changing anything in the House. You're doing in this investigation of government corruption, and nothing happens from that. Nothing comes from that. The machine's much bigger than that. You get nominated for AG, whether it was a stunt or not, and then all of a sudden you have no chance at it. So just go do your influencer thing. But then my problem is, don't be a cornball, though. I mean, Matt knows these things. I mean, I think on the cameo he wants to be positive, and I can understand that. But I just be yourself, man. I mean, I watch Nick a lot. Nick will get a super chat. He's going at the super chatters. Like, don't send me a super chat about this bull, because he's just being real. I think that is valid. Matt, if I could just give you one final piece of advice, stop that corny, fake stuff. Just be real. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Oh, he's great. This is one of the first people to ever follow the channel is AZ Patriot. AZ Patriot remembers the days when I used to do videos and end the video with like a 20-minute music loop. Or not loop. Yeah, sometimes loop or just music. Used to love those. It's bad for. I might go back to that on this channel because this channel is done. I'm not. I'm not like it's. I'm ending it. It's just. I'm not looking to fit within the obviously the box to not get deranked. So who cares about viewer retention? But I do have another channel where I want to focus on that, so that will help balance it out. Surprise my grandfather. Let's see what Steve Johnson was saying here. Surprise my grandfather with a video from him. From John Amos. Oh, really? On Cameo? Oh, that's dope. That's dope. There's a good purpose. I mean, I think there's some good, kind of ways to use it. But yeah, that's dope, man. If you don't, John Amos is name the movies he's been in. He was in obviously Coming to America. He was the father of the woman. I forget. I don't remember characters' names, but the one Eddie Murphy was gonna marry. He was great in that, man. But he's been in a bunch of movies. A really really good actor. He's still alive, right? I just haven't heard much from him. Why Trump ignores his base. The thing is, here's what I said. Thanks, Kevron. What's up? Another great friend of the show. I don't know if it's ignoring his base or he just has so many. Imagine you're running for Trump because I'm not accusing Trump, and I don't think I have accused Trump of ignoring his base. What I have accused MAGA of, the base, is not reminding Trump that he needs to take care of him. That's the danger of widening the tent. Now you've got even more mouths to feed, basically. You've got the LGBTQ that's in the tent. You've got the Amber Rose that's in the tent. You got the blacks that are in the tent. So if I pardon all the J6ers, are the blacks in the tent? We've got all what did they say? We got the Leroys and the Enriques or whatever they said. Susie Wiles and Matt Gaetz said it too. We got the Pablos in the tent. So now if we do this, if we do a full-blown deportation, is Pablo going to be upset? And it's just so many things. And that's not even talking about Miriam Adelson or anybody else that, Teal didn't. I don't know if Teal gave to Trump, but Teal donated to J.D. Vance. And he doesn't want to piss off the money makers. So I think he's torn in different directions. He promised everybody everything. So that's tough. Oh, for Father's Day. That's dope. That's dope. That's how he did his cameo with John Amos. That's really dope. Oh, Stamos. Okay. No. AZ Patriot said it was glorious. I love the music that you played afterward. Thank you. Gates will become that. So then if Gates becomes Florida Loaded Ranch, also everybody's in here. Gates will become governor of Florida. I would support that. I'm never voting for Zios. And if you say the statement that you stand with Israel, you're a Zio, in my opinion. So, but just all that, take that aside. Like I said, I almost have to do two shows, one for Zios or who don't care about that, and then just my real take. But yeah, I think that'd be fine. I'd be fine with Matt Gaetz as governor. But how would he get there? If he couldn't get nominated because the establishment GOP didn't like him, and it looks like DeSantis could DeSantis have chosen him for like senator? I have to look that up. But it looks like he's got beef with DeSantis. What's the path to governorship? I think we have to stop with this. Matt Gaetz is going to be special counsel or governor until we see what's going on. He's on Cameo. I'm sorry. If I'm going to be running for governor, I'm not on Cameo. I'm going to speak to the people, but I'm not going to be on Cameo. I mean, that's like one step. That's almost like, what's his name? The former Trump lawyer that's on TikTok doing all the stupid stuff. That's like one step above that, I guess. I wouldn't be. It looks degrading. Does that look like a governor to you? I don't know. And I was wrong. Trump went on all the podcasts, and I was like, I don't know how much The podcast get a lot of views, but I don't know how much, and it was a big deal. So I was wrong about that. And I'm probably wrong about my Tucker take too. Because I said Tucker would have more influence on Fox. That has not aged well after the 2024 election. The reason why I had that take was because the midterms, it didn't affect in the midterms, but we'll see long term. But I was wrong definitely for 2024. We don't know if it's the Trump factor though or not. But my point is, I don't know if doing Cameo is the same as a podcast. Like if he's doing Tim Pool like he always has, that makes sense. And any other podcast, and he's running for governor, I got it. But Cameo, I don't get that. Is he getting paid by Cameo? I didn't even hear much about Cameo until, I mean, he's like a walking advertisement for Cameo right now. I wouldn't do ish for Cameo unless he was endorsed. He might be endorsed, but I don't know. I don't even know. But I'm just gonna tell you, I wouldn't be doing none of that for Cameo if I wasn't at his level. With 3 million followers, and now everybody's talking about Cameo not without getting paid. Are you crazy? Let me do my take on J6, and then I'll be out. So we got news that Donald Trump is not new news. He's already said this. I didn't get the time to get the clips because it wasn't a surprise to me. So I know I've been following Trump and his J6 comments very closely. Most recently, he was going to do a fundraiser for them and canceled it. And I wasn't happy about that. But he's in office now, so we'll see what he does. So the debate now is Donald Trump says, basically from what we're hearing in the reports, he's going to review every single case. He's not going to do a blanket pardon. Some people, I'm going to answer the question. Some people might wonder why. Why is it bad to review every case? I'm going to explain that. We're going to go into it. But remember, January 6th, we had the Capitol riot, one of the most infamous events in American history. If you want an honest take on it, visit the homie Iggy Ignoramus. Has a great take. He was there, obviously. We had him on the show, obviously, many times, and been on his show. But he, on his channel, called me ignorant. He broke down. I was there. And he's very fair-minded about it. I mean, I honestly kind of almost feel more amped up than he does in a way about it. And I don't want to talk on he's got his issue on what happened with him on his YouTube channel. But right now we had over 740 defendants have already been sentenced. I don't even know where the number is now related to that day. They're still hunting them down like dogs, still reviewing the tape for that, not for anything else. So now Donald Trump wins in 2024, and he has a chance, and he has promised to pardon. He didn't get into the details. He did say, I believe I heard him say it would be case by case in a town hall or something like that. But he referred to them at rallies as political prisoners because that clapped. People clapped for it. He referred to them in a positive way, and I think they even played them singing the national anthem, if I'm not mistaken, at one of them. He called them hostages. All correct. Part of the reason why people say, well, do you care about the Americans who are held hostage over in the Middle East right now? I believe there still are some. I say, well, let's start here first. I don't know who those people are. I don't know if they would care if I got hemmed up. I'm not going to advocate for someone who doesn't even advocate for my First Amendment rights and wouldn't care if I got jailed in the country. Don't care. So let's start with, for example, J6ers. What do we think about them? Before I talk about any hostages and who probably have dual citizenships, probably never lived here, lived in Israel, probably, allegedly. His transition team clarified that this case by case is going to go on. So who cares what he said before? That's what's clarified now. It's going to be case to case. What does that mean? That sounds kind of like you're waffling almost. It's a lot of questions on that. What does that mean? So I said I don't even trust the case-by-case review. What does that look like? How does that detail? I don't trust the federal. Who's going to do the case-by-case review? We don't even know who the director of the FBI is. I don't even know who would do it. Trump has the power to pardon, so he could pick anybody, but you still have to work with, even though they're in the executive branch, they work against the president. How do you even do that? So why would you even say that? What's the concern about the blanket immunity? The federal government messed it up. So then don't mess it up next time. We need accountability. We're not even going to get accountability for them messing up. So why am I concerned about a case by case? I want to get them all out. Pardon. I don't care what they did on J6. And then I want accountability. So I'd rather take those resources on what happened. I don't even know what you could do accountability wise for the unconstitutional persecutions. Mainstream critics are saying the blanket pardons would send a dangerous message for kind of impunity for these political acts of violence, for example. It would set the precedent for future issues and stuff like that happening. And then presidents might use clemency in the future. Okay? And if they get voted in, they can use clemency. Even if they're my political enemies, that's the way it works. That's why you don't want your political enemies in there. So they say, here's my opinion. I'm going to break it down for 4 reasons why. The number one reason why I say that he should not go case by case to pardon, or I don't even fully understand the commuting or pardon, but you know what I mean, letting him out and wiping out the records too, if he can. I don't know if he can do that, but pardoning or commuting. Number one, he doesn't have to go case by case. So that's a good place to start. Why? The power to pardon is absolute. There's nobody, he doesn't even need to tell you why. Now, I would want him to. This part of the point of the pardon is to say this is why. But he doesn't have to go case by case. So why would he even do that? Case by case is a logistical nightmare. Map out how that works for me over, 1,000 cases, case by case? What does that mean? We're looking over all the details of every one of their case? How is that even possible? We don't even know all the details of what happened. And it's not public. The point of these trials is to be public, especially on an event this big. We don't have that. We don't have transparency. So why would you waste the money? Why would you waste the paperwork? Why would you waste the resources? And while you're doing the case by case, they're still rotting away in federal prison. Aunt Karen is rotting away in federal, or has something on their record or probation or whatever happened while you're going case by case through it for wandering into the Capitol. I don't trust the FBI. The FBI needs to pay a price for how they handled this whole thing. Part of the price is they're all wiped out. Don't do that ish again. Their constitutional rights were violated. The First Amendment, Sixth Amendment. There's no fair trial that they could have had in D.C. We don't have all the evidence. We don't know how many feds were there. That's very important for entrapment purposes. We do see video that looks like some of the feds were wearing MAGA gear. What did those feds do? Well, how did that chain reaction lead to? We don't have a full accounting, and we're so many years out. We don't need the full accounting. We know this is how we have to move on. Donald Trump met with Joe Biden and shook Joe Biden's hand. Why? Donald Trump's talking about, well, politics is dirty, and basically talking about, well, let's unify. Why? I'm not for unity. If you go and pardon all the J6ers, and that's not nearly enough for unity for me, and on top of that, there's no pushback from the other side, which obviously wouldn't happen, then that would mean something to me and push me towards this vague idea of unity. But if he pardons the J6ers and there's big pushback, no, that's not. I'm not going to be for that. I'm not going to be for any type of unity. What are you going to do to show me that you want to right the wrongs? We haven't even gotten to the pandemic yet. So why are you shaking Joe Biden's hands? If Joe Biden would be the one, if you pardoned all the J6ers, he would probably be criticizing and Kamala and all of them. Why would I want unity with that? If their take was, you know what, we don't like the J6ers, we think it was insurrection, whatever else, but we do want unity, so we support Donald Trump pardoning them. It's not going to be fully, obviously, but it would be something. Obviously, that wouldn't even be happening. Trump said, I quote, if they're innocent, I would pardon them. Well, they were convicted by a very tough system. So then I agree. There's people like former DOJ lawyer Louis Manzo warns that a blanket pardon sends a dangerous signal about accountability. So you're going to side with them and not do a blanket pardon? Why? Harrison Smith of InfoWars said BLM rioters, this is on X, got 20,000 checks from the government because they were put in handcuffs. Non-violent J6ers have been placed in solitary confinement for months on end. He said pardons and settlements immediately. I don't have a problem with that take. How do you go against that take? The case-by-case approach is one of those attempts to sound reasonable, but to not be, to drag it on, to be unreasonable while trying to sound reasonable. Okay, I'm just going to say this. If Trump says that he's going to go case by case, then I'm crashing out. Some Loderent said some J6ers were not Trump supporters. That's not my take. Is independent of that. Anybody who was hemmed up for J6 should be let out or commuted, pardon. My take is independent of whether they're Trump supporters or not. If they're Antifa, help me. Maybe I'm missing something. Why would that change my take? It doesn't. All right, so I'm gonna be out. I think I'm gonna watch a little bit of football with the kids while I do some house chores and such. I still haven't talked about Joe Biden fading away in the Amazon, man. That was one of the funniest things that's happened recently, and I have not gotten to talk about it. I gotta talk about it. I'm not it could be a year from now. I'm gonna say, remember when Joe Biden did that press conference at the Amazon and then wandered off into the forest? I didn't get a chance to talk about it. It was a year ago, and we're gonna talk about it now. I don't care if it's relevant or not. But I'm going to have to talk. Maybe I'll just do a separate segment on that. I still haven't read The Horseman yet from Ripa. You see, I got the gear, of course, and I can't wait to get it. We just finished Gooding. I just ordered Blood Ruth, and we're going to get into Horseman at some point. We didn't have a chance last night. He walked off into the trees. He did the Homer Simpson, man. I'll just show the video real quick if I can get it. Biden, Amazon. It was wild, man. The memes were hilarious. I felt like it's kind of underappreciated. I felt like it. Well, nobody cares about Biden anymore. That's why. I think that's why. So at the end of the press conference, this bro wandered off into the woods, literally. What are they clapping for? Do they not? Why don't they practice this stuff, man? Do they want to make him look bad? So he finishes he's in the woods. He's in the who thought it would be a good idea for him to do a press conference in the woods? I understand they're trying to do climate change, but he's just so old, and I don't know what the right way to end that one is. I honestly don't know, but it's not my job to know. That's not it. I know that's not it. I'm not done with that. This moment here, I'm not done with it. I am not done with him. The same time this happened is the same day that Anthony Blinken, Joe Biden gave Ukraine long-range missiles to fire at Russia. to pop off World War III. They have put Putin in the position where if he does not use a nuke, I'm not calling for this. I don't want it to happen. I'm just telling you where we are. They have done chess moves to where if Putin does not use a nuke, they blew up 3 of the 4 Nord Stream pipelines, all this other stuff. Who was behind the theater massacre? If Russia does not use a nuke, Putin looks like an absolute buffoon. That's the position that they put him in. And the same day he announced the long-range missiles is when he walked away into the damn woods. I'm not done yet, but I'll holler at y'all. Have a good Sunday. Peace.